It's Emily. April 6, 2020, and today is a rainy day here in our town, North Coast, South California. I love it. This is my kind of day. The garden is singing, the fermentation going a little slower, but that makes for a more complex flavor, so hey, I'm all for it. I want to talk a little bit about starter discard right now. I got a bit of question about it, and let's discuss about it. When you feed Norma or your starter, and then it go through its full cycle of feeding, it rise and then it fall, then you found yourself in the next feeding schedule. What do? Do you feed all of them, or do you feed a little bit and then what happened to the rest? You don't want to feed all of them unless you are about to bake a huge and large amount of sourdough bakes. You do not want to have too much starter, because then you have to keep on maintaining that amount of starter, and when you feed your starter, it's not you just add a little bit of flour and water. You would want to give it an ample amount of food source so it can thrive and be healthy. So let's say in the first feeding, remember the last video we talked about getting 25 grams of a mature starter, and then you add 100 grams of water and 100 grams of flour, right? And then when that mature, then you will have a total of 225 grams of mature starter. Now, if you want to feed all of them, that means you're going to have 225 grams of starter, and you need to add, how much is that? 900 grams of water and 900 grams of flour. Then you're going to end up with so much. Now, you only, once that 225 grams of starter matured, you want to take only, again, just like the previous cycle, 25 grams of that mature starter, and then you again feed it with 100 grams of water and 100 grams of flour. Now from that 225 grams, you took 25 grams, and the rest, the 200, is what we call a starter discard. Now it's called a discard, but please don't discard it. It has so much use. You can make so much thing with it. You can make sourdough pancake, you can make sourdough waffle, cookie, brownie, everything. My bagels are made by sourdough discard. It is helpful to give a more complex flavor of any bakes that you're gonna make, and it helps fermenting the flour that's in there, and makes your bakes overall is a better bake. I want to show you, right? Like right now, this is the tub that I used to make a levain last night, because today I'm mixing for tomorrow's bake. In this two tub right here, I built up, I think, close to about like 2,800 grams of levain, and then after that I used a little bit, and then I still have a little bit in here. I didn't use everything, obviously you don't want to use everything, and I have quite a bit left. Now I don't want to feed all of it, because then tomorrow is not my bake day. Tomorrow is not my mix day, it's my bake day, and I'm not mixing anything. I just want to continue Norma's life. And so from this leftover, or a mature starter, I took only 25 grams in this little jar, and then like usual we add 100 grams of water. Right, always add the water first because you want it to disperse. And as you guys know, I feed Norma with organic white flour and organic rye. So a little bit of rye. Rye consists 10% of her feed. And the rest of the 90% is white. go. Stir this one up. Norma. Yummy, yummy. Alright. And that's that. That's all you need to keep on continuing your starter life. You put that aside and let it ferment. And continue. Now, what happened to the rest of this? This is what we call the discard. What I do is I have another tub that I put in the fridge, because remember, when we put a starter that is alive in the fridge, their activity will start to slow down significantly. Do not put your discard on, if you're not going to use your discard right away, do not put it on room temperature, because then it will just keep on getting sour and sour and sour, and then it might not have any life anymore because there's no food for it to thrive. So what I do is I have this tub where I collect all of my discard, and I put this together with the rest of my discard. There you go. Stir it up a little bit. Close it and put it in the fridge. Now this discard will be good for you to use in a week or two inside the fridge. You don't want to let it go too long either, because then it will be starving and the flavor will be off. But yeah, then you can collect it and you can use it for whatever. There are a lot of recipe out there that uses sourdough discard, and there are a recipe out there that use a lot of sourdough discard at one go. If you take a look at my formula to make a sourdough bagel, it uses a lot of sourdough discard. And you do not feed your discard, because that means because it's no longer a discard. Then you're just making a new starter. You do not want to put it on, I already mentioned it, do not put it in room temperature, because then it will mature very, very fast. Put it in the fridge, use it within 1 week or two, and yeah, you can keep on maintaining what I call is a batch of a healthy discard, so that whenever you want to make something, tortilla, pancake, whatever, just put a spoonful or 2 spoonfuls in there. If you want to make the flavor really good, make a pancake batter on the night before, put the sourdough discard and let it ferment overnight, and tomorrow you make a pancake and it will taste so good. And that's about the discard. This will go straight to the fridge and we'll wait it's time for me to use it. Alright, I hope that answered a little bit of your question about discard. I'm here if you have any more questions. Bye, neighbor.